see yourself knocking out Lomachenko or going to distance?
I see myself breaking him down, throwing probably about 9th, 10th round. I see myself breaking him down. There's not too many people out there that can, stand toe to toe to me, especially at 130 or 135. I don't see nobody standing toe to toe.
Those are the words of Gervonta Tank Davis after he was interviewed by FightHype.com. Shout out to them. They got a hold of Gervonta Tank Davis, and he said he would knock out Vasil Lomachenko, Mr. High Tech himself, the Matrix himself, in 10 rounds. He says that he would break him down, and he says a lot of times people can't go toe-to-toe with me, and they can't handle my power. And he thinks that he can take out Lomachenko. Now, one thing I think about Lomachenko is it's not toe-to-toe. Okay? I don't think that's Lomachenko's game. Lomachenko's a volume puncher. But you don't have to fight toe-to-toe to be a volume puncher. And he's proved that again and again and again. Gervonta Tank Davis, does he have the power to knock out Lomachenko? Well, I believe he does, most definitely. Because Jorge Linares put him down, dropped him to the seat of his pants, and so I think that woke Lomachenko up. He was alarmed to see that type of punishment or punching power at 135. But of course, that's not Loma's, natural weight. However, fighting someone like Gervonta Tank Davis, he knows what to expect. Okay, Tank Davis has good power, but then here's the thing. Normally, when you see a guy, a young guy, a guy that they're trying to market, mind you, and he's knocking people out, his competition is, we know who they are. They're smaller guys, so it looks dynamic. It looks great, but we have to see Gervonta Tank Davis in with better opposition. And I'm not talking about Leo Santa Cruz. No disrespect to Leo Santa Cruz. He is not. He's just another featherweight that they're pushing up to that level. And see, I see that. I see what they're doing to Gervonta Tank Davis. The same thing that Floyd Mayweather wanted to do with his own career when he was pretty boy, like fight Barrera, fight Eric Morales, fight Prince Asim Hamed, where he couldn't do because he didn't have the name of those guys. Those guys were pretty much legends already in the sport. And Floyd couldn't get those fights with those guys. And he was bigger than those guys. Even though he started at 125, he was already at 130 while these guys were fighting at 122. Okay. And then they went up into 126 later on, a couple years later. But Floyd was already at 130, 135. And he couldn't get those fights. And I see what he's doing with Gervonta Tank Davis. He's vicariously living through Gervonta. He would be doing the things that he would be doing to market himself now. That's all he's doing. But what he's not doing, he's not fighting the guys like Lomachenko. He's waiting him out. Floyd said it himself, he won't be here forever. What does that mean? That means they have no desire to fight him right now because they know right now he could beat Tank. He could probably play with Tank. We don't know that because they know and they fear of that obvious, and they don't want to ruin their investment putting him in there with a fighter that's not a part of Mayweather Promotions or Al Heyman whatsoever. They don't want to get beat or put out there that bad, because that would be very embarrassing for an ESPN fighter like Bob Arum, a rival of Floyd, because Floyd was with Bob Arum, to see one of his fighters beat the hell out of his fighter. So the competition changes. Floyd might not be fighting. He might be fighting, but it's different. It's a promotional war. It's a promotional pride thing. Okay, when it comes to these type fighters. That's why you haven't seen Gervonta Tank Davis in there with nobody. And if you do see a name on this record, it's someone that is a has-been, like Gamboa, okay, Yoriokis. So that's what we have. And that's what we're going to see from Gervonta Tank Davis until they figure the coast is clear with Lomachenko. If Lomachenko gets beat by Teofimo, or he has a tough fight with with Teofimo, they might consider it. Okay? Because he hasn't fought Teofimo Lopez yet. That's a guy that he should be fighting. It's a lot of people up there that they can throw him in there with, but you can see while they're slowly inching Gervonta Tank Davis along. If you notice, they're doing the Deontay Wilder thing. I'm telling you, that's exactly what they're doing. And they see that he's young, and they want him 30, 35-0 before taking those chances. Hopefully by then, Lomachenko will be out of commission or not like he used to be, out of his prime, that makes him vulnerable. Then maybe they might want to make that fight happen. It's not about money and all that they say it is, but no, it's about reputation. That's what it's about, most importantly, because the money's going to happen. They have the money to back these guys, But him fighting Leo Santa Cruz, they know Leo Santa Cruz has a big Mexican following, just like Errol Spence did. That's why he fought Mikey Garcia. They wanted that fight so he can get Mexican fans. He can get Mexican haters. So then now the Mexican fans seen Errol Spence beat up Mikey Garcia, so they want to see another Mexican do it so people will know who Errol Spence is. They're doing that with Gervonta Tank Davis right now. It's a marketing thing. It's PR. That's all it really means. And it's the way they carry this fighter. That's why he hasn't fought people. That's why a lot of times when he does interviews, he's kind of like, if the money, if everything's right, if I could fight, it's always if. It's never nothing definite on, yeah, I want that fight. I will ask my promoters for that fight. You never hear Gervonta Tank Davis talk about that because he's not allowed to. He doesn't make those fights. Okay? He's not allowed to speak his need. If he even really wanted to fight a fighter, it doesn't matter who he wanted to fight because his career is not in his hands. It's in Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s hands and Al Haymon's and Leonard Ellerby's hands. And they're going to make sure that he's going to be carried along like he is now. But for him saying, I will break him down in 9 to 10 rounds, well, shit, you got to show us. But then again, you have to know it. And matter of fact, you have to have that Gary Russell Jr. Mentality by calling these fighters out. Like, dude, I don't want Leo Santa Cruz. I want High Tech. Or I want the winner of High Tech and Lopez. Make that happen. Right? That's what he needs to do. But he's not. Because he doesn't have that power and he doesn't have that mindset. He doesn't have that opportunity to do so. So, that's my counterpunch on Gervonta Tank Davis. I think he's already said enough through, through Twitter and social media about talking what he can do. His promoters saying what he can do, but they're not willing to do anything. It's like the pantomime, okay? The Sicilian pantomime. It's called show and tell. That's a lie pantomime. It's a technique of lying. It's something that you're saying, but you're not showing anyone anything. That's what Gervonta Tank Davis and them are doing. Okay, so they'll fight Lomachenko when Tank Davis is 30. Lomachenko is 36, 37, which he's had a couple losses or so. Yeah, they'll fight him then. But fighting him now, no. They know better than that. Because we've seen the history of how Loma wanted him. And then Loma's called him out. Stop hiding your fighter. But they didn't want that. Then all of a sudden they did want that when they were pissed at Gervonta Tank Davis. These are steps. These are real, actual steps and things that happen with Gervonta Tank Davis. He's back on track. He's a good boy now. He's doing what he's supposed to do. He's not talking too much. He's not sending subliminal tweets about his management. He's doing what he's supposed to do. As long as he does that, they're gonna put fighters in front of him that they feel he should fight right now, not who he wants. But that's my counterpunch on that. You guys tell me what you think about Gervonta Tank Davis saying he'll knock out Lomachenko in 10 rounds. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.